This is part 27 of our 100% walkthrough for Oracle of Ages, and in this part we're going to be continuing our mini-game adventures here on Rolling Bridge. We're going to get a geisha or gasha seed, whatever it is. 100 rupees.
Go ahead,
I'm
sorry.
not sure how it's pronounced. We're going to get 100 rupees, a heart piece, which will actually give us a full heart container. We're going to play some target carts to earn the Rock Brisket. And we're going to play the Goron Gallery game a couple of times to earn the lava juice and the boomerang.
Did you say adventures like early on when you came in? Like some Goron, like Rolling Ridge
Or
adventures?
adventures on Rolling
They're not
Rock,
adventures.
Yep.
They're tasks, Red. That's what they are. These are not adventures at all. This is
There's
something
nothing adventurous about
that we
this.
have to do. And like we were kind of talking behind the scenes, like and kind of brought up another reason why we hate this area so much. There's kind of a trade sequence involved, like in this area or parts that we're going through right now, and it's like necessary for the progression of the game.
It is.
And I hate any part in Zelda where we have like a trade sequence that you have to do to progress.
Yeah, it's one thing when you're doing it to get an item or a sword power up or something like that. When you actually have to do it to complete the game, and especially when it's as out there and confusing as the trading sequences in this game, it becomes a bit of a bear. It's a pain.
I know we kind of were probably a little bit bored in that last part. Really didn't have a lot to talk about. That's because we basically didn't have a lot to talk about because all we were doing was Goron dancing the entire game or time. Now, the good thing with this part is that we'll kind of switch it up a little bit. We'll play a minecart game that actually like a little bit, and then a baseball game that's like hard, but still a little bit more fun than Goron dancing.
Man, I suck at those baseball games, and it's not the first one we've played in this game, and we have to play it twice to get both the boomerang and the lava juice. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But it's just this whole area, and we kind of mentioned this, is just mini game after mini game after mini game.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it just pads the length of the game in a totally like artificial manner. Like it's just annoying to have to do all these tasks that I feel like are not being, like you said, it's not an adventure. They're just tasks.
Yeah.
I mean, you got it perfectly right when you said that.
It was just too much. Like if you did like the Goron dancing 1 or 2 times, then maybe 1 or 2 games, like that would be okay. But it was overload. It was just overload, and then like there was trade sequence involved with it. So I remember like when we first got to Rolling Ridge, I had a hard time getting to dungeon number 5, the Crown Dungeon, which we just beat a couple parts ago. But then I remember getting to this area and going back and forth and like doing the trading sequence and doing all the games. Like, I mean, it just really weared on me. And I eventually hit the point where I just like, okay, I got to watch a walkthrough because I want to get out of this area so bad. Like, it's no fun. It's turned me off to the game.
I know that's what such a pain is. It's like we finish the dungeon already on Rolling Ridge, and we spend 4 more parts up here before we even get to the next dungeon. I mean, it's just such a pain. I mean, I know we keep ripping this place, but we've mentioned this very early on. It's like this is the part of the game that really turned us off to the entire experience of Oracle of Ages. It's just we can't help but rag on this area.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Like we want to rag on it, and like sometimes it actually makes our best videos. But I'm like, there's really nothing else we can talk about. Like I've mentioned before, but I think this vine right here, like and how you use that between the past and the present, I think that's really cool. Now, one thing you kind of mentioned about like the whole baseball, or the baseball like games. Like I was, I'll brag a little bit. I was pretty good in baseball, and I always think. Well, back in the days, like, I wasn't that good once I got to college. But anyways, because I didn't play.
Once upon a time.
I had to save my time for drinking in college.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
I always think that's going to translate somehow. And, like, when it comes to these baseball games or baseball-like games in Zelda, like, I'm the worst at them. Like you said, like,
Oh, me too.
It just doesn't translate over, I guess, to, like, from real life.
It really doesn't. But I do kind of like, and this is something we've mentioned before, we like when we see things that happen in the past that affect the future, and things like that vine growing. It's such a little thing, but you move it when it's just a seed in the past. When you get back to the present time, it's fully grown up the wall. It's like it's a little touch, but it really shows off like what I feel like they could have done so much more of in this game was having past actions affect the future. They did a really good job in the town that had the volcano that I've totally already forgotten the name of.
Oh, Symmetry City.
There you go. So that one was good, but just other than that, there wasn't a whole lot. So I love those little moments like that where, like, the vine grows as you go back to the present. So
that vine growing is really the best thing about Rolling Ridge. It's the best thing. It's the most exciting thing that happens in Rolling Ridge. Except for maybe this minecart game going on. And, like, we'll actually get the... Now, here's one thing I did hate. Like, at the very beginning, they show us our prize, but they really don't tell us what it is. It is the Rock Brisket, but it kind of been nice that they were like, hey, here's your prize, and it's, this is what you win, instead of just kind of like okay, we're doing this game, but we really have no clue where we're winning. But I think we come back here later on. Don't know if we do or not. I can't remember what we win if we do. So that was a good transition right there to nothing.
Well, I do actually kind of like the minecart game in general, though. It's one of the few mini games that I'm actually like okay with. It can be tough because you actually move a little quickly.
Yeah, you do.
But it's one of the better. Like I've always liked the minecart stuff in these Zelda games.
Yeah, agreed.
But I agree with you though, because you need that Rock Brisket to proceed in the game. I'm pretty sure. It's one of those trading items that's required, right?
I can't it's weird because I think we do some. Now I've been watching or preparing for Oracle season, so I might get them mixed up here a little bit. But for some reason, I'm thinking that there's a little bit of the trade sequence that is not necessary for progression, and then there's like another part that is like basically there's two trade sequences going on. I think. Yeah. But I just was preparing for Oracle seasons. I was doing a lot of training stuff with that, so I could be getting them mixed up on what exactly happens. But this game right here, which is actually called the Target Practice game, I actually think this is a very difficult game because
it can be.
It's just like you basically have to you'll see me have to kind of turn different directions and swing different ways. I think if you try to time this up, it's almost impossible to really hit the ball the direction you want it to go.
Hey, any strategy I've tried in this game has been impossible for me. I think I got the two items you absolutely need.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got the boomerang when I was playing.
I'm sure I did the same thing because I just wanted so bad to get out of this area. Now, I kind of read they say basically the light blue ones, you'll have a fairy and you'll have a block. Those are the best ones. And then they'll say something that's red. I actually think they meant purple. I think that's
so too,
that's
the
red,
not red at all.
I don't know what happened there with Nintendo, but that's completely off. But it's pretty easy as long as you aim for the blue things.
Yeah, but I do think you had a good strategy. Here in a minute anyway. You're not doing it yet. When you start going to the side a little bit and aiming instead of trying to time your swings, you do a much better job there. And you almost get the 400 points on your first try. I think you get 330 or 350, something like that. And then on the second time through, we got the 400 we needed to get the boomerang. So, like I said, we only need 100 to get the lava juice, which I could never imagine drinking lava juice. I mean, beer does enough
you're not a
bad things
Goron,
to my
though.
body.
We got to think. I mean, these are Gorons, man. The beer was a good point, actually, too.
Yeah.
But, these are Gorons. They eat rock sirloins and rock brisket. So lava juice is probably just like milk. They're just washing it down. Because those guys have to have stomachs that are literally, made of iron.
I mean, I would imagine.
Or rock. I guess rock would be a better example than iron, but...
Well, in Ocarina of Time, don't they talk about bomb flowers being a delicacy for them as well?
Now, that's even crazier.
So they eat bombs, too, apparently.
Because, drinking lava juice, that would just burn your throat. It wouldn't be much more than that, which, listen to me talk about drinking lava juice like I'm a professional at it or something. It's that Bacardi 151 and Tabasco shot. That's what that is. That's lava juice right there. But but eating a bomb flower, that thing blows up.
Yeah, exactly.
So their stomachs got to be able to handle. I bet they can drink like fish.
Oh, could you imagine the trip to the bathroom after eating some bomb flowers and drinking some lava juice? That is not going to be a pleasant experience.
That's true. That's a very good point. Where is this commentary gone?
This is the things we talk about when we're stuck playing these silly mini games over and over again. Because we're about to play the same game again to go for the 400 points we need for the boomerang. And I got to tell you, the boomerang in this game, and in most Zelda games, to be honest, is so lame compared to the Link's Awakening one. That will always be the pinnacle of amazing boomerangs in Zelda games. And every boomerang since then has just paled in comparison.
Well, the nice thing about the boomerang in this game is that it stuns enemies. And we'll meet up with some, I think it's Lionels or something like that later on, which are very tough enemies. So the boomerang does help in at least stunning enemies, and they kind of just stand still. So I do like it for that. But yeah, the power has not been there really, except for Link's Awakening. But I mean, I've always found it kind of a useful item, like I said, for stunning enemies. I think that's very useful.
It can be, and plus just anytime you have another ranged item like that. Because if I'm not mistaken, we don't have the bow or anything like that, do we, yet?
I don't think we have the bow, actually, in this entire game. So we have the seed shooter.
That's right.
I don't remember a bow being in this game. I think it's pretty much just a seed shooter, and you got the switch hook.
Yeah.
There could be one or two other things.
So getting the boomerang gives us another long-ranged weapon. And like you said, it does stun them and give you a chance to get in close and do some damage with your sword. So it's not totally useless, but like I said, everything gets compared to that Link's Awakening boomerang, and everything just comes up short.
I don't know about long range exactly, more of medium range or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't know really where to go after this. I've about spent all my energy on talking about the items that you get from this game right here. It's just, I guess it's another thing we can talk about is like these games actually take a long time, like the Goron Dancing.
They do.
You didn't have to do instructions. I did so the viewer could see them. But like, just like the whole stages, those take a long time because there's like 10 of them. This game right here, I don't know how many rounds it is, but I want to say, it's close to 10.
I think it's 10 rounds as well.
And just some of these games, like the minecart, that one wasn't very long, but just some of these just take a really long time. So it just adds on to that whole factor of, we just really hate this area.
There is a game a little later on that I absolutely love, the bomb game. You'll see that here in a few parts. But now that we've gotten our lava juice and our boomerang, this will go ahead and wrap up part 27 of our 100% walkthrough for Oracle of Ages.